that there cane and that there cross. See, that stand for Vice Lord. See, I was born Vice Lord. My daddy was a 5-star.
Oh, man, that's nice. See, my baby is a big dog.
Pep even broke out of jail by getting one lord to pretend to be him and wait until the end of his sentence, while Pep, wearing a disguise, simply just walked out of jail. Pep wanted the Cobras to leave the West Side altogether, since the Vice Lords ran K-Town. After the ultimatum in 1960 turned into a huge fight, Pep stabbed a Cobra leader in the neck, and the Cobras called the police. Pep was tried as an adult for the first time and sentenced to 6 months on the adult side of the reformatory. The Vice Lords ran the juvenile side completely. This caused more gangs to flip Vice Lord, and the Lords became bigger on the streets when the flip members came home. This made all the imperial chaplains flip Vice Lord, and they became the first separate branch in Vice Lord history, known as the Imperial Vice Lords. Vice Lord leaders also consulted with potential business owners that wanted to open on the West Side. This put the Vice Lords in direct competition with the Italian organized crime that ran not only the underworld of the city, but also the black ghettos. This led the mob to kill Glenn Miles in 1961. He knocked on the Vice Lord clubhouse door, and when Miles opened the door, he was promptly shot in the chest. The hitman thought that he was killing Pep for stepping into the mob's operations. This incident caused the Lords to look for other ways to make money. In 1962, the Vice Lords began to recruit in Cabrini Green. They had the 500 to the 502 Oak Street territory near Oak and Hudson and into the Marshall Field apartments. The Vice Lords moved into Wicker Park at the intersection of Bell and Levitt, creating the Evergreen and Hoyne branch, where they fought with white greaser gangs. In 1964, Pep stepped down as active leader of the Vice Lords at age 21, and Alfonso Alford would take over. Also, the Vice Lords would establish a headquarters at the intersection of 16th and Longdale. Ugly Frank would start the Traveling Vice Lords. Billy Washington started the Congress Vice Lords. Another group started the Warlords. And at this point, several Vice Lord fractions started to appear. By the end of 1964, 26 factions operated without even knowing who Alfonso was, and the fractions were widespread, everywhere from Rockrill Gardens to the ABLA and the Henry Horner homes. They also moved into Wicker Park around the Evergreen and Hoyne neighborhood. Also in 1964, Willie Lloyd would join the unknown Vice Lords. Not only is it possible that Willie Lloyd was a Vice Lord in 1963, Lloyd was also the co-founder of the Unknown Vice Lords. The name Unknown came from Vice Lords reading the newspaper and joking about how criminals were committing crimes and the police were reporting an unknown suspect was at large. The Unknown Vice Lords began on 16th Street in North Lawndale. In 1965, Willie Lloyd took over leadership of the Unknown Vice Lords and hyped them into a mass recruitment. And soon, the Unknown Vice Lord members were in the hundreds, making them one of the largest branches of the conservative Vice Lords. By the late 60s, the Unknown Vice Lords were able to take over a large portion of the East Garfield Park neighborhood, the area bounded by Congress to Monroe to Central Park to Kedzie, aka Ghost Town. One night, Pep, Bobby, Leonard, Alfonso, and JW were hanging out and they realized the destruction that they had caused in the community. So they decided to open legitimate businesses and to better the community. They also decided to use the name Conservative Vice Lord once again. The first thing that had to happen to make legitimate businesses a reality was an ending to the gang violence. The next step was speaking to George T. Sims, the commander of the Fillmore District Police, about helping the youth steer away from crime and gangbanging. In 1966, Martin Luther King came to the west side of Chicago to protest the West Side riots. The Lords, Disciples, and Stones were ready to march alongside of King through the mostly whites area of the South Side. When Pep heard one of King's men say that they didn't need the help of no gangbangers, Pep gave the signal and all the gangs left. Later that night, Dr. King sent for Pep, Gore, and a few other leaders, saying he didn't back the statement and that he needed them. The Lords and their allies marched alongside Dr. King. This brought major positive attention to the Vice Lords. Older Vice Lords put their money together and they opened a pool hall at 3655 West 16th Street. This was the first conservative Vice Lord legitimate business.